Hello, everyone. Hope you had a nice long weekend over the 4th of July. I don't know whether you traded on Friday. Friday was a really good day to trade. I did trade the first half of Friday and I took profit at the 5614 area. However, based on the 5585 to the 5605 TR that we had, the trading range that we had, we did get the 1:1 and we did go up to the 5625 area, but I was not in those trades anymore because normally I do not trade after 12 p.m. on Fridays. Let us now look at the expectations for the next week and for tomorrow, and let us again start at the monthly chart. So, if we look at this monthly chart, we were talking about this wedge earlier last week, and we are out of this wedge right now. We do have a small micro gap between the close of this monthly chart as well as the open of this monthly chart this month in July, and we still have this 1:1 target at the 5707 level, which can be easily reached by the bulls. And since we have broken out of this wedge, there can also be a wedge measured move. And if we actually hold on to this line, then we can see, if we are very conservative about it, we can get up to 5993. And we know that 6000 has been a line that the market has been talking about. There has been a lot of talks about the market reaching the 6000 level. And I think it is highly possible that the market can go and do that, and that may pretty well happen before the elections. So on the monthly chart, we do not have anything that looks bearish at this point of time. We will have to see that if this 5562 line holds, in case it wants to come down. I doubt that it will come down to 5662 to the 5560 level again, but if it comes down, we'll have to see if that holds. That is also the wedge, and that has been a very good resistance that has been broken by the bulls at this point of time. So I do not think that it will come down there, but if it does, we'll have to remember the 5560 area. If we break that down, we may continue to come down a little bit more, and then we will see what are the next levels, and we'll take a look at that when that time comes. But at this point of time, I do not think that the market is going to dump below so much. And since the bulls have done this breakout and we are having a follow through this month, now this is very early in the month to say that we are having a follow through. The candle has just started. We are just 1 week into the month, right? So from the looks of it, I think that it is highly possible to get to this 5707 level, and then we will see if we bounce above that, where we are going to the top. Now let us take a look at the weekly chart. Now the first thing that I see on the weekly chart is that we have connected here with the wedge top, right? So we had the first wedge top here, we had the second wedge top here, and this is the third wedge top. Now if it wants to come down, if it wants to move sideways, it can on the weekly chart, right? Especially we had this bar down which tried a reversal. We broke above it and we have hit the wedge and have been rejected there at the wedge, right, at the 5525 level here. And now if we go above 5525 level, it is highly possible that we reach this line, which is the 1:1 of this pullback that we had. Now this is a breakout, pullback and re-entry setup. We are above it right now. We can come down to the 5585 area, which is the previous breakout and which has been a resistance that the bulls have broken out again. It is highly possible that it comes down to the 5585 area again, retests and keeps going back to the top once more. Now, based on that, there is nothing bearish about the weekly chart as well. It has been going up pretty good, except the point of contention is that we have reached this wedge. We need to see a breakout of this wedge, and it will happen. The breakout of this wedge will happen at 5651. So it is highly possible that above the high of last week, we'll see another 25-point rise, and then we can see that if we are going above that to hit the higher levels, and we will get to that once we are seeing what is happening on the intraday chart and on the intraday hourly chart, and then we can take a decision to take a trade or hold on to our trades and see if we are reaching up higher. Even now at this point of time, there is no such indication that the market is actually bearish. On the weekly chart, we have hit the wedge, but nothing is stopping the price from breaking out from the wedge and reaching the higher levels. Let us now look at the daily chart. On the daily chart, we see that there was this breakout, there was this pullback, and the initiation of the call started here. So based on this, even if we try to do a 1:1 of this bar's body, then we will see that we are at least getting up to this 5641 level. And if you remember that 5632 to 5640 has been one of our targets, right? So once we get above the 25 area, that is one area that we will be looking at on the daily chart. And then once we cross above that, we'll have to see that we have this daily wedge at the 5643, 5644 area. I will put a line here. That can be a very good point where the market would want to reverse. This will be the 5641 line. If we cross and hold above this wedge, it is highly possible that we reach this 5660 area, which will again be the top of this channel here. And once we keep going up, then we will see if we can get to the 5673 and then 5684 to 88 and all those areas. On the downside of the daily chart, if the market wants to come down and retest this 5597 area or the 5585 area, it is highly possible. So once it comes down there, I will also have this channel extended at this point. So if we are breaking down this 5585 area, maybe we'll come down to this 5560 to 69 area, and we will see that if the price is able to come down to the bottom of this channel, which is again the 5552 to the 50 area, where we already have some kind of support here. The first level of retest possible is around the 5600 to the 5596 area. The next level can be the 5584 to 86 area, 85 being the actual line. And if we see it is breaking it down, then we will see what are the different other possibilities on the downside. Also, the 5600 to the 5602 level will be a very good area of support for the bulls because this is the midpoint of the channel. It may come down there and then bounce back up from there. If we even look at the 50% of this whole day that happened, again, that support is at 5611. We do have some micro gaps open in that area. We will look at that when we see the RTH 5 minutes chart. We'll have to keep an eye on the midpoint of this channel as well as the midpoint of this day and see how the price reacts there. If we are failing this area, as I stated earlier, it may come down to the 5600 to the 5596 level, and then we will see if we are bouncing or we keep going down. So now let us look at the 4-hour chart. We see that on the 4-hour chart, we were supposed to reach this 5614 level. This was one of our targets on Friday, and we did get there. However, if we see here that the 5614 level did not hold, we are currently below it. So we will have to see how far this 4-hour candle goes down. It may get support at the 5605 to the 5600 area on the 4-hour chart. So we'll put a box right there. So this will be a point of support. If this fails, we may very well come down and retest this 5585 area, which was broken out. And then we will see if we are starting to move up again, go above the 5507 and then keep pushing up again to the top. Now on the upside of this 4-hour channel that we have here, I have the downward channels because we were in a kind of a downward movement till this point of time, and we were sideways, but there was a channel formed on the downside. So I have these bearish channels here right now. So my thought is if we go above this 5625 line, we may come to this midpoint of this channel. We will have to see where the midpoint is and at which point we come and hit this midpoint. And if we are getting rejected from there, or the price is getting accepted and it wants to go and hit one of these wedges on the top or the top of the channel line right here. So we do not know how many bars it will take to come up here. However, if we are above the 25 area, we will try to see if we are able to reach the midpoint of this channel somewhere the top of this wedge, and then we will see if we are coming here and hitting the top of the channel. Now is the turn for the 1-hour chart. If we see that we had this kind of a resistance line here or a target line here, our target was also the top of this channel, and we came and hit the top of this channel and we got rejected. Now at this point of time, we will see if this 5607 line holds, because this was the bull flag that created this new high here. It is expected that there will be bulls here again, and we may keep pushing up above this. So once we see that we are in this area in the morning and we are trying to push up from here, that may be an indication that the price actually wants to go up. And if you see, we are already having 2 legs down as a pullback. So now we will see what happens overnight, how the price reacts here in the Asia session and the London session, and then we will see that if we are bouncing from here, then we may actually go and hit this line again. Once we cross above this line, we may again come and hit the top of this channel line once more. So if you also see here, we had this breakout actually held. Although there was an attempt of a false breakout here, we did not fall below this breakout candle, and then we have gone up and touched this again. So we will have to wait till the morning and see if this area is holding. If this area does not hold, then there will be some bulls available in this area once again. This will be another point of support support on the hourly chart, and then finally we will see if we are coming down to this double top area, the 5598.75, and holding there. If we fail that, then we may actually come down to the 5592 and then to the 5585 area, and then we will see how price is reacting here. Does it want to go up or it wants to come down again? And based on however the price behaves overnight, we will see where the price is getting support or where the price is getting rejected, and we will have to decide that in the 8:45 a.m. IST pre-market call, and we will take a call from there. Now let us look at the final piece of the puzzle, which is the RTH 5-minute chart. If you see here, there are multiple micro gaps that are open, right? And all these will act as support area. So you have one at 5613 area. There is a micro gap here from where we bounced. We have another at the 5607 area, which got retested and we created a new high. This will be a major support area for the bulls, the 5607 to the 5606 area. Below that, we may actually come down to the breakout point. This was a double top breakout area, which is 5603. So that will be another point of support. However, I think the major support that we have is again at the 5590 area. This was the top that we broke out, retested, and we kept going up and creating a new high. So these areas, the 5590 to the 5585 area, can again be retested. However, we need to see that where we are at the open of the market tomorrow, whether we are bouncing off of any of the previous micro gaps that we have on the bullish side, and then we will have to take a call which way the market is going. Now, looking at the news, we do not have anything in the morning. We have a consumer credit at 3 p.m. This can be a market mover, so it is better that you stay careful around this time. And if you're not in a trade, wait for some time to see how that candle moves, how the market treats it after that, and maybe you wait till 3:15 and then decide to get into a trade. So these will be the different support and resistance levels on the 5-minute RTA chart. We have one at 5626, which was the high of Friday. The next one can be the 5621. Below that, we have 5613. This again is the double top area at 5606.5. We have another breakout here at 5603, below which we have the 5598.5 level. And if you see, each of these are supported by the micro gaps. If we break down there, we may come to this 5592 level, and then we can finally get to this 5585. If we are breaking down below 5585, then again we will look at all these different lines that we had earlier. However, if you see, we have been able to create several micro gaps here. So I do not think even if we come down, we will go below 5585. This has been a very strong breakout area, and in my idea, this will act as the 5519 level again, that it drops below here, it comes down here, it gets support and goes back above the 5585 line again, and we keep going back to the higher levels once more. So that is all I have for now. We will meet again at 8:45 a.m. EST for the pre-market plan. If you want to join that, the link to that is given in the description below. You will also find the link to our free Discord server and the Facebook page. You are very welcome to join there. And with that, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you guys in the morning again.